This place has been an Austrian or German restaurant for over 30 years. The Steinhaus Keller means the stone house basement. Amanda's family is from the Colorado area, and they are of German descent. With my last name McGuire, not so German, right? But a lot of her recipes, and for all those years, Norbert was the chef. Actually moved over here with Bernie. Had worked here for 18 years, and me and Norbert had developed quite a unique relationship. So going to his house and eating duck and the other things we had done, sharing a lot of his recipes and just discussion. And the first year that we were open, Norbert worked here for us doing prep and laid down a lot of our foundational groundwork for us going forward. It's just continental European cooking techniques that in Europe I find most of the techniques are all the same. It's just the ingredients are different, the language and the names, but they're all pretty common. So it was pretty familiar, actually. Didn't feel too foreign. I enjoyed working with my hands and the creative expression that food allowed me to have. I was surprised that I felt that way about it. You know, it was something that I didn't mind doing every day. Looking back at it now, and a lot of people I don't know, I still don't even have regrets about it. It's a decision that I still feel confident about, you know. Well, Hot Springs does have a great restaurant scene. There's, you know, between Matt and DeLuca's, there's, you know, a lot of prestige, and everyone does a really good job. You know, for us, I think I can just speak of that we do use a lot of the old traditional ways, scratch kitchen as much as possible, and I think there's a true passion about it. German restaurants have been kind of fading on the American Midwest scene. What we've experienced is the people that come from all over the Midwest. It's always shocking to me. People travel here. You know, we came just to eat for the reminiscence of the way things were, and there seems to be a lot of interest in it. And I think that's the thing that's really always shocked us about it. They love it. As this building is a rat skelter in the truest definition. You know, it's a stone house basement. It definitely has that true European grotto feel of below the street, under the street. You know, it's as you walk in, it's just a unique vibe. You know, it kind of screams what it is. You know, German food, a lot of people, if they didn't grow up with it, you know, maybe they find it kind of intimidating. I will tell you, German food is very much just like Southern comfort food, actually. You know, I think if you're fortunate enough to watch, you know, roux, just old school cooking, you know, if you had a grandmother or a mom that really liked to cook, you would find German food really quite familiar. For me, honestly, I could say this, you know, watching my nanny cook was a big inspiration for growing up. It's not so foreign to Southern cuisine. You know, we have a lot of German ancestry around it here in these parts. Traditionally, we've always done chef specials every month, and we change those. Coming out of the summer, we'll get back into doing the chef specials. We ran one in August, and we'll have one for coming up month. You know, and that's how you keep the creative juices flowing with these new dishes that we do once a month on our special menu. As a young kid, going to my first crawfish boil, not really understanding or seeing those red bugs and what was going on and that whole thing, and watching people interact and just taking like the joy, you know, the drinks and the food and just that atmosphere was a big deal. Like, wow, people are really having a lot of fun doing this, you know. And I guess that my favorite meal, the one that kind of sticks with me, would have been Nanny. You know, she grew up in a different world, but would cook these elaborate Sunday dinners, right? Fried chicken with greens, fresh potatoes, you know, with purple whole pea, jalapeno relish, things like that, right? Like real taste, things, wow, you know, that were made from love and done because she wanted to do them. Her love language, expressing her appreciation, and I love you, and this is what I've given you, you know. Those two things stick out the most, of course, to me. I am a history buff. I think that's part of the interesting thing that I find with food is the anthropology aspect, that you can, through language and culture, but through food you can trace back a lot of things and shared commonalities and traits with people and groups. I still really have that passion, you know, where people are from and where they're kind of going, and so maybe that might be something that people don't really realize about me is my interest in anthropology still.